All right, welcome back. This is our first instructional video for the Building Blocks of Gymnastics. I'm Coach Jacob with
Coach Caitlin.
We are going to go over the very beginnings of gymnastics. These are the things that I teach toddlers every weekend from ages, I don't know, about 2 to 5-ish, depending on how advanced they are. What are those couple skills?
Forward rolls, log rolls, backwards rolls,
Back extension.
back extension roll.
Yeah. Now there's some other things that I teach that kids of this age, but that's what this video is going to be focused on. Forward roll, backward roll, log roll, back extension roll.
Yeah. Another thing is if you're having issues and you're tumbling, maybe you need to take a step back and make sure you've mastered all these.
Yeah. These are the building blocks of gymnastics for a reason, right? Like imagine a pyramid, right? The top brick won't stand up if you don't have the good foundation. And that's kind of where these skills come into play. You can add handstands and cartwheels to that list, but I'm going to make separate videos on those skills. So for today, we're going to do log roll, very basic, forward roll, backward roll, back extension roll for those that are a little more advanced.
Yeah.
So we're going to break everything down, how I teach it, what I think are good practices for these skills. Go from there. Make sure you're warmed up before you do anything. We don't want any injuries. Make sure you stretch afterwards, okay?
All right, so the first thing that we teach our little babies is an egg roll before they get into the log roll and the forward rolls. So for an egg roll, I'm going to go back and squeeze my tummy, and I'm going to hug like an egg. And the way we can see if they're doing it right is I should roll in a straight line. If I don't roll in a straight line, I'm not doing it right. So squeeze and roll. So this skill is very first step, just trying to get the little ones comfortable with going down the incline, and then also teaching them how to squeeze their tummy.
All right, for the first skill, the very basics that I teach is a log roll. Okay, this teaches body control. You're going to squeeze your belly, arms up by your ears, nice and tight. Anything in gymnastics for the most part. You're going to cover these ears. Okay, no head out. Good. So, what are you going to do? You can do this on the flat floor, but I teach it on the cheese mat first. You're going to lay down. Like hollow body position, like you're rocking. Arms by your ears. If we roll, we keep our arms by our ears into an arch. Into a hollow, into an arch. All right, for the log roll on the ground, it's the same kind of principle, but the hill's not helping you this time. Arms by your ears, legs straight, lean, arch, hollow, arch, hollow.
Okay, now we are going to do a forward roll. So first thing, I'm going to get as tall as I can, arms right by my ears, and then I'm going to put my hands as close to my feet. Okay, now we want to make sure our hands are down first, so we are protecting our head and neck.
Now where should your head position be when you do a forward roll?
Right here.
One more time?
And just start.
Perfect.
Ready?
Yep. Perfect body control. We're going to stand up. Can you get back into this position?
Yep.
Zombie arms. So I call this zombie arms. We're going to stand up in this position, squeezing our core and our legs so we can stand up nice and pretty and controlled. Perfect.
So our little girls all the time, they'll get in the middle of their roll and they'll stand up like this and push off back here to stand up, which you do not want that. You want to use your core and your abs to pull you up and have the momentum bring you up. So pretend I'm on the floor. When I'm using that momentum, I'm going to use my arms to pull me up so that I can stand up at the end.
Without putting our hands on the floor. That's the key here.
Without reaching behind me and pushing off.
Perfect.
Okay, nice and tall. Hands down. Arms up. Zombie.
Good. Okay, if you're going to spot this skill, you're a new coach. Maybe you just got hired to help the toddlers and you don't know exactly what you're doing yet, or you're a parent that wants to help. When you're watching these videos with your kids, be safe, don't get hurt. I don't want you to get injured. Okay, I'm not going to be there with you. So do everything slowly and carefully. Learn the skill first before you start throwing it down the pavement or whatever. Okay.
Most importantly, on the forward roll, backwards roll, protect the back.
Protect the head. That's the number one thing in tumbling. We don't want to hurt our head. So she's going to start arms up like normal. When she puts those hands down, I'm going to take my back arm and guide her head over, protect, and let her do most of the work, but we're there just in case, protecting the head and neck area in case they're going the wrong way or they get caught up somewhere funny. One more time. With my backhand, I'm just kind of making sure that those hips get over her head. Protect the head, make sure those hips get over, let her stand up on her own. Okay, we're gonna start this the same way as we just did on the cheese mat. Caitlin's gonna put her arms all the way by her ears. She's gonna come down to the floor. Now right here, we don't have the cheese mat to help us. So when she puts her head on the floor, we're gonna use a little bit more leg jump to get our hips over our head for that roll. Okay? That hill's not pulling us down, so we're gonna have to jump a little bit harder than normal to have that momentum to roll. One more time.
Can I do it all in one motion?
All in one motion, yep. So arms up, arms down, head down, big jump, zombie arms. Arms up, good. Okay, now we're moving on. We have a couple more skills left in this video. We're doing a backwards roll. All right, how we start our backward roll. When you have the help of a cheese mat, we're gonna go ahead and take a seat on the cheese mat, like you're sitting in a chair. Now for my little kids that I teach in our rec gymnastics program, we teach pizza hands like a server with our fingers pointed backwards, okay? We really wanna protect our little kids' heads in our backward roll, okay? So she's gonna roll back nice and slow just so we can show you. Reaching those hands to protect our head and neck. Now she's gonna sit up, some help. And now we're gonna do it full speed. And then we'll break it down a little bit slower, okay? We're gonna start the same way, sitting down there in a chair. Pizza hands to protect our head. Go fast as possible and pull our arms straight up to get in a good habit. Okay, like we said before, arms up by our ears is the perfect habit to get into for tumbling. And now we're gonna break it down a little bit more. Okay, so right here, when we're gonna roll back, we're gonna squeeze our belly to pull our feet over our head, reaching for the floor with our feet. We don't wanna land on our knees, so we're gonna reach like we're reaching over our head, reach to that floor. Okay, then from here, relax, okay? Pull these feet right away over your head. Now, when these hands come to here, we're going to be pushing. Go ahead and try and push. We're gonna push up with our arms, our hips, and our belly up and over our heads to land on our feet, okay? If we don't use our arms to push off our head, that's when we can get a little bent on our head and neck area, which we don't want. Be strong with your arms, be strong with your belly, and most importantly, be fast. Okay, so we just went over the position that I put Caitlin in where we're gonna push off our arms, we're gonna pull with our stomach. So I'm gonna really exaggerate that for you so you can see what I'm talking about. So when I roll back, I pull my feet up with my abs, over. Now I'm gonna push with my arms really hard. And over. One more time, a little bit faster. Pull over, push up, arms up. This is how I would spot a backward roll. So when she gets her arms here, I'm going to be waiting with my right arm, my back arm. Okay, so if you're over here, it'd be your other arm. But my back arm, when she goes, go ahead. I'm gonna be reaching here, helping those feet come over, guiding with my arm on her hips to help get that weight off her head if she's not pushing as hard as she should be. One more time, we're gonna go a little bit faster. Okay, remember, let her head pass, grab those legs with that back arm and assist in getting the weight off of her head. Grab over and up, arms up, good. Okay, now we're gonna do a backwards roll on the ground. Same thing like I said in the forward roll. The incline isn't helping you, so we gotta try a little bit harder with these legs to get over. More aggressive with our arms to protect our head. So we're gonna start here, or here. I prefer this. Sit. Roll back, protect your head, and over. Okay, when I get into this position right here, when I'm about to touch the ground with my butt, I'm gonna use my legs to kind of propel me backwards so I can gain speed like I do on the hill or on the decline. Okay, but I don't have a decline here, so I gotta make that power somewhere. And that comes right here from our legs. Whether you're here or here, your legs need to be driving you backwards to get that speed to come over. Okay, for a back extension roll, the way that I teach this and the way that I was taught is we start with our arms up by our ears. And I try to teach, we are turning our hands inwards like this, so that way when we roll, we can explode with our hands to help get our head and hips off the ground into that good handstand, which we'll cover in another video. Remember that the handstand is one of those building blocks that is involved in these couple skills that we're learning today. But I'm gonna make a separate video on a handstand since there's more to it. So we're gonna watch that video and then come back to this back extension roll. So we're here, nice rounded back, so we can roll nice and easy. And then when we get to right here where the floor is just about to get to our hands, we're gonna explode and turn our hands out like we would normally hold a good handstand. So the setup will be the same up here. Then set up here, we're gonna go straight up, get that back nice and rounded, roll, 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 and I'm out of frame. Okay, I'm gonna go as slow as I can here to show you this opening of the hands that I'm talking about. That's really gonna help you open that chest up, push your hips to the floor, and get to that handstand. So I'm here, nice rounded back, roll, and push.
So one thing that I was not taught is this, that Jacob was taught. This, clearly I'm not doing it right. And I was just taught to go this way, but this way looks way easier when he does it.
Yeah, so when you're here and this ground is rolling up, it's like a nice flat roll up to this part of your hand. But if you're here, it's way more aggressive to get to your top of your middle finger versus right here to the side of your hand. And when we pop with our shoulders and hips, we open these up into that nice strong handstand position. That little motion is gonna make you block through your shoulders and get off your head and hips.
Yeah. Jacob's looks way more graceful than mine does.
So when I get to here, I'm gonna push my hips and feet up to the ceiling into this candlestick position as fast and aggressively as I can, then open these hands up when I get to right here when the mat is only touching my forearm. So I can do it from here. I don't even get all the roll. Arms by my ears, nice rounded back, over, hip drive, fingers. All right, so now we're gonna do the back extension roll on the flat ground. Same thing I've been saying about all these other skills. This hill is a great tool to learn. When we move it to the floor, we don't have gravity helping us pull down the hill.
Okay, so Jacob is going to focus on his leg drive, his hip drive, and shoulder pop because he doesn't have the hill to help him. So he's gonna do it on the floor.
And now remember what I said about the backward roll. When I get to this position, you gotta use your legs. That's what she's talking about, leg drive, to get those hips backwards and get that speed. So here we go. Now for this skill, start standing all the way up, arms all the way up, already into this finger touching position here. So I'm here, make sure I'm in frame. Start rounded, let's make it easy. Start nice and rounded.
Pop.
So if you're a coach and you're gonna learn this skill, it's just like we did on the cheese mat, except we're gonna be a little bit stronger, a little bit faster if we're doing back extension rolls. That back hand's gonna come in as soon as that head clears, and once she gets into that candlestick position, we're gonna grab, knees or shin bones and pull up when she initiates that hip drive to help her with that handstand. Going forward. Remember, start arms up, fingers in, cheat the hollow. Let's start hollow, make it easy. So she's gonna roll. Head clears, candlestick, pull, and then step out like a handstand. Nice and easy, arms up. Perfect.
Thanks for watching the Building Blocks of Gymnastics. If you want to learn more, make sure you subscribe and follow along.